So, Jim McCarty, how's it going with you and the Yardbirds?
Yeah, good, fine. Yeah, as you know, we're coming over to Washington. We're doing the Zepp Fest, and we're doing another tour in September all over the US. So things are moving.
So this summer, things are really moving for the Yardbirds. It must be a good feeling that the well-oiled machine is still going very strong.
Yeah, it's good. We've got some young guys now. Chris and I from the originals, and we've got a couple of guys that are in their 20s, which is quite nice. It's unusual, but it works quite well.
Let's say to bring this new blood to the family of the Yardbirds, how hard was it to pick these guys up?
Well, through sort of friends of friends, and actually the two young guys were both at a rock, particularly fairly well-known contemporary rock academy in the south of London, and that was the contact for them. So they're very musical, and they've learnt rock and roll like we didn't.
Okay.
So they're good. They're very keen, very enthusiastic.
Those guys have big shoes to fill, because considering Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page were, members at that time.
I know, but the Ben King, he's very confident. He's got a very good technique, and he seems very, very quite a strong young guy, quite mature, and confident that he can fill those shoes.
Well, that's good. Confidence is always the best, key
and he
ingredient.
Can play,
Let's say when you're going on, tour and stuff, how do you pick up the set list to include to a show? Do you rotate the songs at all sometimes?
Yeah, we rotate it. Yeah, we do. We've got to do more or less a certain amount of the songs anyway. Certain of the big songs like For Your Love and Heart Full of Soul, Shapes of Things. They always go in, but then we put in some maybe newer ideas or some bluesier ideas. Or we're going to be working on a couple more songs we haven't played from the Little Games album, rehearsing them up for the Zeppelin Set Fest.
I'm sure it's a good treat when Zepp Fest considering where Zeppelin comes from, which is, the Yardbirds. The audience should be really thrilled to see, the Yardbirds on stage, in 2011.
Well, I hope so. I would imagine they'd enjoy it. And, it's got that sort of, I suppose it's got that Zeppelin sound. It's very, it was based on a very similar sound. So, I'm sure they'd enjoy it.
To this day, did you keep in touch with the three main guitar players of the Yardbirds days?
Yeah, we keep in touch. Don't see him that often, but I haven't actually seen Eric for a while now. But I've seen Jeff and Jimmy, and been at things together with them and been to their gigs, and they've come to see us over the years. So, but not Eric Clapton so much.
Let's say in the archives, do you guys have a lot of stuff that's unreleased that we have not seen yet in the early days?
There's not too much. I think most of it has gone out now. Most of it has been out. I suppose there's just the odd alternative take of the old songs, but all the time people are finding out more and more, and some things come to light, some old live stuff comes to light here and there, but most of the stuff has been released. So we had a whole album that had never seen the light of day. It'd be great.
That'd be very good for the fans.
Exciting for us.
It wouldn't only be exciting for the fans, it'd be exciting for you to see all this again.
Yeah. But the band's repertoire is very strong, and it's always something that we can almost rely on, the fact that there's so many good songs all together, and we've got a good band as well, so it's going to be quite an exciting prospect on stage.
Now, Jim, when you go on the road, do you do signings and stuff like that? Seminars?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah. We usually come out and do a meet and greet.
That should be a good feeling, to please the audience that has been following you for so long.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, and there's all sorts of age groups, all sort of young, some quite young people, and some people that saw us in the '60s, and people in between that never saw us. And there's it's good to meet the people. Interesting to see who actually likes us.
Would you say with the internet nowadays, you're discovering your music to newer kids that have never heard?
I think so. I think the internet's helped us a lot. I did an interview the other day with somebody who was just 21. He seemed to know all about the band and was very keen about us. And I guess all these kids have found out about us, which is great.
And also, rock and roll never dies.
Yeah, it seems to go on, doesn't it? I think people in America have really long memories,
For drum endorsements, what type of drumming do you endorse right now?
Well, I still play. I've got a great. I don't really have an endorsement. I was trying to get an endorsement with an American company, but I didn't get one. DW actually, but I usually use DW when I'm renting, getting drums provided in America. But I use various different, Yamaha and Gretsch, and I always had a Ludwig kit in the old days. It'd be nice to have that one again now.
Would you say in the earlier albums, it would have been a certain drums set that you'd be using, or would it always interchange that album to album you don't know what you're going to be playing?
Yeah, no, it would change a lot. I mean, some of the early recordings we did, in America, for instance, in Chess Studios, there was a drum kit there, sort of an old beaten up old kit that sounded great. And so sometimes we didn't always use the same set, but most of the albums I'd use probably the Ludwig or the Gretsch.
Certainly for snare drums, people tend to go for Ludwig.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think they had the strongest name. I think they were probably the best kit from the '60s. That all the main drummers used them, and Ringo used them, and Ginger Baker and everyone else. So they were very good drums. I wish I still had my old kit.
To this day, how big is your collection of music? Let's say, did you collect anything throughout the years?
I'm not particularly a collector. No, I've got a mixed bag of music, all sorts of stuff from blues to classical to to rock, all sorts of things. But I didn't really collect so much on vinyl. I know some people, a few friends of mine have big vinyl collections, but no, I'm not a big collector, to be honest. Did
you at least collect the Yardbirds material?
Yeah, some of it. I've got quite a lot of it actually. But I wish I kept like Bill Wyman, who kept all his old '60s clothes and all the tickets and programs and all that stuff. I never did, but I wish I had done a bit sometimes.
I'm sure somebody has your stuff somewhere.
Oh yeah, I know people that have. I know collectors. I know some fans that have all our stuff.
Well, that's awesome, Jim. It's going to be awesome to see you coming to America and all this, and continuing the tours. You're gonna be playing basically all summer long, I take it.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, pretty well. We'll. I don't know about July and August. I don't know where we'll be, but we'll be somewhere around, I expect. But where are you?
I'm in Canada.
Canada. Where?
Nova Scotia, Canada.
Oh, okay, great. It'll be nice to come up there. I like Canada very much.
Well, Jim, you have a very good summer and good tour, and just keep up, the great work with the Yardbirds.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, you have a good evening.
Thank you, and you too. Talking to you. Bye.